All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a new video. I want to introduce you to a little someone. This is Waylon. He is our new dog. He's about 7 years old or 8. We're not really sure, but this is our new little son. All right, go on and play, Waylon. It's Saturday, and I just wanted to make a video, just kind of like a little life update, because there's been a lot going on in the past couple of months that I kind of just want to talk about. So I'm going to jump into about like 5 things that I think are really relevant to my life right now. And the first is freelancing. If you follow this channel, if you know me, I quit my job at the Seattle Seahawks in March of this year. And up to this point, it being September, I've been freelancing the whole time. And I got to say right off the bat, it's gone a lot better than I originally thought it would go. Now, I always had confidence in myself. I always had confidence I could do it, but I gotta say that I'm actually very surprised with how well the traction is, and I know that varies month to month, and I know how unreliable freelance is sometimes, but I have to say I'm really proud of myself and kind of how this has been going. But this last month and a half, I've been traveling a ton. I think I was home in August for I think 9 days total, but I've been traveling. I have them all right here. I did a commercial piece in Virginia for about 3 days. I shot a short film in Whidbey last week for 4 days. I shot some stuff for an outdoor brand in Oregon, which was a couple of days. I have some stuff for a local brewery that I shot last week, and I have some more stuff I'm shooting this week. And then some event work for a Seattle tech consumer company. You could probably guess who it is. I have that this week. And then finally, I have a little bit more travel next month and some more stuff coming up. The travel is a lot more than I expected, but it's fun just to get out on the road and kind of just make something beautiful, pack it all up, and then head on home. So that's kind of how freelance has been going. I've been working with a lot of cool brands, a lot of cool people, and just overall, it's been a real fun experience and something that I can't even explain kind of what it feels like to drive by Lumen Field on a Sunday and know that I don't have to work there and I can completely make my own schedule and do the projects I want and really work with the people I want. It's been extremely nice, and it's something I don't take for granted, and I'm thankful for every single day. So, tech's coming back. If you've been in the tech space, in the tech world, you probably saw that Apple dropped a lot of stuff last week, and I have many thoughts on the iPhone Air, the iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Pro, and that new orange. But they also came out with some AirPods, the Apple Watch, and I went ahead and bought a pair of AirPods Pro. Thought mine were here, they're not, because the AirPods Pro for me, I got the AirPods Pro 1 and I have the AirPods Pro 2, and when I got the AirPods Pro 2, it really changed the way I listen to music, talk to people on the phone, listen to podcasts and all those things, just with how great transparency mode and how great noise cancellation mode is. So I went and bought a pair of the AirPods 3. So I went and bought a pair of the AirPods Pro 3. Now I'm not going to get into the text and specs, but the fact that noise cancellation is 2 times better and transparency mode is 2 times better, that's really all I needed. I just wanted a better version of that. And with mine, you've probably seen I have black tips on them. Those are foam tips, not silicone tips, and the new AirPods Pro 3, they come shipped from Apple with foam tips, so I don't have to get a third party and they can actually match. So I'm really excited for those. Is it a huge upgrade? No, but the AirPods are something where I've gotten to the point where I've lost them before and I've had a pair in my car, and it's something in the tech world that I 100% cannot live without. So I'll have those coming next week, and I'll do a full review on those, first impressions, and really put those to the test, because I will be using them day in and day out at many hours of the day. No joke. I also got a new light in the studio. Well, I'm borrowing a new light. I'm testing a new light from a good friend of mine that I work with a lot. It's the it's the Amaranth 300C. If you know, my main light is the 100X, and 100 to 300, there's a lot more power in the 300. And I've been running into issues exposing my office for the outdoors, and I love the trees right here and I love the greenery, and I want to be able to expose for that. And to do that, I need to make the image a little bit darker and have a little bit more light to play with. So I have the 300C here, and then right over here I have the 100X as kind of like a hair light, and it's creating a nice little flare on the wall, a nice little texture to the back of my head to kind of pull me off the background. So that's something that I'm really experimenting, and going into that, you can probably see I switched my entire office around. I have the desk in front of the window again, I have the TV right here, and I have right now a beanbag, but I'll have a chair right there shortly. So switched the office around a bit, was getting a bit bored of my original setup, and I started to watch some old videos and really liked my original setup, and there's probably a reason why it was the original setup, so I kind of went back to that and updated it quite a bit. So I have some possible lenses I've been looking at. I've been looking at getting a cinema set just to have for a lot of the shoots I go on, and just because I'm really sick of the digital look that the Sony lenses offer. It is a great look, but I just need something with a little bit more character. So I've been looking at some cinema lenses. They are really expensive, so a lot of research is going into them. So that's something that I'm looking forward to into next year, probably to invest into this channel, invest into a lot of my freelance work, and just kind of add to my kit overall. And then something that probably needs a lot of talk is the space that the cinema camera is in right now, and that is the competitor to the FX3. If you are a camera person, you know that Canon released a new camera that is supposed to be the competitor of the FX3, which has a lot better specs than the FX3. And then Nikon had their first collaboration with Red. Nikon bought Red, and they had their first camera be announced last week, and those two cameras are something that I really want to get my hands on and try because they look extremely cool, they look extremely capable, and I think it's going to change the way of really just the idea of a handheld camera like the FX3 for filmmaking, and it lets the barrier of entry be a lot lower. It lets people be able to tell more stories because these cameras give you the tools to do that, and I'm excited to try those out because if you know me, you know this channel, I love the FX3, and I love it for so many reasons that a lot of cameras did not have in this space, in this size, and now Canon has that, and now Nikon has that. And with their lens set, I think it's going to be a pretty cool upgrade, and it puts a little bit of pressure on Sony to release that FX3 Mark II, and I think that should be coming in the near future, and I will probably get my hands on one of those because at the end of the day, I do love the Sony ecosystem. I do love the look of a Sony, and I do love what I'm able to kind of do with it in post and the process of that. The next thing is Off Script episode 3. If you know this channel, I started making a series because I wanted to make something kind of episodic with more so how I'm feeling and how I kind of work as a creative, and I've had off script episode 1, which got a ton of traction, so I thank you guys for that. Off script episode 2 came out a couple of weeks ago, and off script episode 3 is in the works right now, and it's about a topic that I think is near and dear to everyone's heart, and it's burnout. How to kind of take burnout for what it is, not avoid it, but work through it and kind of get back on track. So that's something that I'm writing right now. I'm scripting, I'm making shot lists for, I'm shooting VOs for. I'm doing a lot with that video right now. It's extremely fun because these are almost like short films to me, and it's a way to kind of let out my creativity in a way that is a lot different than a vlog or a lot different than a tech review. It's able to really kind of push my boundaries as a storyteller and as an editor and tell those stories, and I get to do all the phases. I get to be the producer, I get to be the director, I get to be the cinematographer, I get to be the editor. At the end of the day, I get to be the distributor. It's something that takes a lot of work, but it's extremely fun to kind of live in the process of that. So Off Script episode 3, I don't know when it's gonna come out, probably next month sometime or the end of this month, but it's about burnout, a topic that is near and dear to probably everyone, not even in the filmmaking space, but in every space of really just work and life. I'm doing a lot of work on myself, and this is where this channel is going to get vulnerable, and this is where I think this is something that's really important to me that I think is you're able to talk about a lot more in 2025. I'm doing a lot of therapy. I'm going to therapy once a week and kind of working out some stuff. I started acupuncture because I've read a lot about acupuncture, heard great things about it, and hoping it can kind of relieve a lot of the stress I have just in my daily life, a lot of the tension I have. And at the end of the day, the last thing I'm really working on is my health. I'm trying to get really back into running, going to the gym every day, and ultimately just eating healthy. The gym, the running is good, but if you don't eat healthy, it doesn't really matter. So that's something that is tough with traveling a lot, but getting back into a routine, getting back into a rhythm, it's something I'm really trying to focus on. So I think that if you show up in front of a camera, I think you need to do the work behind the camera to kind of make yourself confident enough to show up in front of the camera and just healthy enough to just make content, because I was on a short film last week and it's a lot of running around, and you kind of got to be in tip-top shape to do that. And I am 30, so my age isn't what I was when I was 24 trying to do this. So I think health and wellness is extremely important in this space, but also just in a lot of spaces. And I think it's something that needs to be talked about just with anyone, and shouldn't be something that people ignore and shouldn't be something that people kind of hide behind. It needs to be talked about. And then lastly, this isn't really a task, but it's just slowing down with intention. I've been trying to do a lot more things with intention, and what I mean by that is I'm trying to put myself around people that motivate me, that bring creativity, that just bring me happiness, and that's ultimately the people I'm around. I think that's something really important that I've really noticed. Back when I was younger, I always thought it was better to have more, and that being more friends, more people to hang around, more groups of people, more pockets of people. But I've learned that as you get older, the quality of the people you spend your time with is way more important than the quantity. So I'm really being intentional with who I'm kind of taking my energy out with and spending time with and all of those things. I'm working on the stuff that really matters to me, that being this channel, that being a lot of the projects I'm working on outside this channel just as a professional. My favorite thing is that both my brothers are gonna be in town next week, and for me, they are both my best friends, and I've gotten lucky to have two brothers that are also my best friends, so having them in town is going to be extremely fun, and I will drop everything I'm doing to go hang out with them. So that's something that is just great, and it's great that we're able to grow. I have a brother that's 28, I have a brother that's 22 or 21, and the fact that with our age gaps, how close one of us is and how far away one of us is, we all kind of come together and just love to be around each other. Life with my partner, that's something that is just fun. I love being around Rebecca. I love having Rebecca around, and you don't notice how hard it is until you don't have that person around, like when I'm traveling and I get to come home. So that's something you just take with an appreciation, that you're able to find someone that you are compatible with and can live your life with and grow with. And now I got Waylon. He's not in here, but it's like my little son. I take that little guy on walks, go into the water, take him on walks every morning. We try to go on a walk. He's just like a ray of sunshine when I walk in the door, just having him around. So that's something that I didn't think would happen as soon as it did, but it did. And this has been literally the year of a lot. There's a lot that has happened, and there's a lot more that's happening behind this camera that I can talk about at later times. But yeah, I mean, that's just a little update on my life. I felt like a lot of the past videos when I give updates, they were really scripted, they were really kind of low level, and this is just a major level of kind of what's going on in my life. So yeah, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below Waylon to give him some love and welcome him to my family. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.